let's take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway and beat up. Wow! Come on, and groove along. Come on. Said babe, I said babe, oh honey, come and groove along. You gotta feel it, yeah, you gotta move along. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it on the roadway. You gotta move along. Wow, baby, you gotta move along. I said, baby, you gotta move along. I said, honey, take it real slow. I said, honey, just take it real slow. Whoa. You gotta groove on. You gotta groove on.
If you have not gotten your kaleidoscope, please get a
Wow! Come on, and groove along. I said, baby, I know you're on a roll.
We're live. Yay!
Good morning. Don't forget to bring the coffee.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jubilee Circle. We're so glad that you have joined us, whether you are here in the room or out there watching on the YouTube. We are so happy to have you here this morning. If you need a bulletin, there's stuff over there. If you're in the room, please make sure you have a kaleidoscope or two. You can have a couple of them since there's not a lot of people here. And you'll need, because we're going to be swapping, so if you want two, please get two.
And if you have one at home.
And if you're not here, you're missing getting a kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Anyway.
To get your own.
Right, to get your own. All right, here we go. So welcome, everybody. The bulletin should be linked in the description if you're watching on the YouTube, and there's one over there on the table if you're here. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
You remember me when the west wind moves past the fields of barley.
Back off on mics.
You forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? We'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. See the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. I never made promises like me, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. Have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You'll remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous skies that we walk the fields of gold. Yeah, we walk the fields of gold. That we walk the fields of gold.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. It'll make sense in just a second. It will all make sense. So good morning, everyone. Welcome again to Jubilee Circle. And we are we are starting our VIA Positiva theme of loving what is. A Course in Miracles tells us to look at the crucifixion but not to dwell on it. And what that means is that we have to clearly see what's happening in the world, the suffering, everything that's going on, and love this place for what it is. And if we do, then we can become the light that's required to awaken ourselves and everyone. If we can see the world and love it for what it is, then we come from this heart-centered place and we can change the world and awaken everyone. And we're going to explore ways that we can do this in our new VIA. So happy summer, everybody. We are in the VIA Positiva. It's everybody's favorite VIA because we're going to do a lot of laughing and smiling. It's not like the VIA Negativa where you're like, oh.
Excuse me for a second.
Sure.
Speaking of laughing and smiling, today is Candace's birthday.
Woo-hoo!
Happy.
You know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we?
Oh, wait.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Where you going?
Happy birthday, dear Candace. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Thank you. I'm finally 21.
You can
For
drink
the-
now.
for how
Took
many-
Forever.
Yeah, it took forever to get to 21, but here I am. So thank you all. I don't care. Ask my age. I'm 58, so it'll be
Don't lie. You really 85.
right.
58.
I'm just very well preserved. Right, I got them backwards. I'm dyslexic. I'm not 58. I'm 85. 28. That's it. I'm 28. Forever 29. Right. You know what? Everybody's like, oh, I'm forever 29, whatever. Embrace it, people. Growing old is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing, and you get more wisdom. You get, I think people get better looking as they age. So.
That's true.
Yeah, they do. See, look at Keith. Look. Look, do I have to? All right, y'all want to have some Jubilee this morning? Let's have some Jubilee. I'm sure you're all familiar with the old saying, I'll believe it when I see it. Right? That's how we live. When I see it, yeah, I'll believe it. But in the metaphysical spiritual world, that saying gets turned on its head. It really is, I'll see it when I believe it. Currently, we believe that we are walking in the fields of barley, which is the bodily world of the ego. In reality, though, with a capital R, we are always existing in fields of gold, the realm of the holy, that field of unity that we have never left. And if you can believe that, then you can begin to see it. You will begin to perceive that field of gold, that spiritual plane of oneness where we all exist with God and with each other as one spirit. So how do we begin to believe that so we can see it? Well, we do it by being willing to see things differently, by leaving our own little private Idaho, which is that separate ego world we all create, by realizing that this material world that we see is really formed out of absolutely nothing. The mystics have taught that nothingness is at the root of our existence. They have taught this for centuries. But today we're going to explore how the scientists are actually catching up with them, proving that everything we see, everything we think we perceive, is composed of one invisible, omnipotent energy. Some call it God. Some call it the Force. Some call it the flying spaghetti monster. But it's all the same. It's one field of energy. And when we can finally believe in that field of gold, then we will step out of these fields of barley and we'll see it all around us in every moment. And all we'll know what to say is, when we see it, what we'll say is, oh yeah. All right. Please rise as you're able. And we begin every Jubilee Circle in the same fashion. We remember the 4 elements, the air, the water, the earth, and the fire. And we burn sage as a reminder that this is a safe and a sacred time. This is a place where you can be who you truly are. That oneness, that vastness of the universe. Yes, you fit into this room, all of you, because we are all one, that one omnipotent energy. And let us orient ourselves in this time and space that we perceive by calling the 4 directions. I invite you to turn and face the east. Holy One, we thank you for this glorious day to be alive. Teach us, Holy One, how to be fully alive, fully aware of your divine presence in our lives. Teach us, Holy One, to be aware of the fully alive creation that surrounds us, that grows in, through, and around us. Teach us to be in awe of everything we encounter today. Quarter turn to the right, we face the south. Forgive us, Holy One, when we forget that you have created this world as an amazing playground for us, your children. Open our eyes so that we may see jungle gyms where others see offices. Open our eyes, we can see slides and swings where others just see parking lots and malls. Remind us, Holy One, that each moment of life is not just meant to be lived, but to be played with joy and passion. Quarter turn to the right, we face the west. Restore our childlike innocence, Holy One. Teach us to let go of anything that keeps us jaded and cynical in this world. Restore our sense of wonder, our sense of amazement at everything in this world, from something as small as a bug to as big as the entire universe. Holy One, wow us with your presence. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. You see us as fully alive, Holy One, as fully animated and blessed children. Help us to see ourselves that way, to experience that fullness of life, that joy of play, that exhaustion of a day well played and well lived. Help us, Holy One, to spread a sense of playfulness and joy in this world. And turn around and face the center of the room and look at the life all around you. We are called to enjoy this, to invite others into the joy of living to the fullest. Because when we can live life to the fullest, that is when we all get to say, oh yeah, I'm running out of smoke. Virginia, you're just in time for smoke. Over there. I'm coming. All right. Remain standing. We are going to make an attempt at a B-52 song. And hopefully none of the B-52s are watching, so this song is too young to die. But we're going to try it. And I invite you to, as we do, dance, greet one another, enjoy yourselves. 2, 3, 4. You're living in your own private Idaho, living in your own private Idaho. Wow, underground. That's right. We need to do some Devo next. Yeah.
My condolences to the lady who sings.
Oh, I got it. I'll just leave that on. All right. Woo! That was fun. There you go.
Yeah. How about we do that?
Right.
No, let's play.
Welcome again, everybody. Welcome to Jubilee Circle. If you're watching us for the first time out there, yeah, this is how it works. This is how we roll here at Jubilee. We are an inclusive, progressive interfaith community in Columbia, South Carolina. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that you find in all mainstream religions, metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, and inspired secular and religious writers and teachers throughout the ages. We use popular music, even the B-52s, teachings, weekly celebrations, educational and artistic events, other community-building activities, because we're trying to create a space where everyone can experience that deep transformation so then they can go out and transform the world. We believe that we're here to expand our souls, to find a deeper meaning in life, to renew our commitment to love and peace and justice, learn how to love wastefully, and undergo a transformation from the inside out that is so deep that we live more and more and more of our daily moments connected to that higher divine self. And we also recognize we're part of God's good creation. Yes, we're made of love and joy, but our bodies, we're all made of stardust. And we forget this, though. We believe we're lost in this world of paradox where we look out and see you over there and me over here, and then we believe in the separation. We believe in it, so we see it instead of seeing our unity and believing in that. But so we see this separation, and then we start judging. Those are beautiful people. Those are ugly people. Those are good people. Those are bad people. Those are generous people. Those are stingy people. Those are loving, beautiful people. And these are just so recalcitrant people. Come on, everybody, for my birthday, yell it out. Recalcitrants! Okay, thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. But let us remember, we are in the fields of gold. We're unconscious. We're asleep in that field of gold as we think we're walking in the fields of barley. And we're here to awaken and know that we have never left our home in God. And that is something that ought to make you say, oh yeah. All right. Hear these wise and holy words. 13 years, we get it right. From A Course in Miracles, chapter 13. It's taken a while. A Course in Miracles, chapter 13. We have said that you have but two emotions, love and fear. One is changeless, but continually exchanged, being offered by the eternal to the eternal. In this exchange, it is extended, for it increases as it is given. The other has many forms, for the content of individual delusions differs greatly. But they have one thing in common. They are all insane. They are made of sights which are not seen and sounds which are not heard. They make up a private world which cannot be shared, for they are meaningful only to their maker, and so they have no meaning at all. In this world, their maker moves alone, for only he perceives them. Each one peoples his world with figures from his individual past, and it is because of this that private worlds do differ. But the figures that he sees were never real, for they were only made up of his reactions to his brothers and sisters, and do not include their reactions to him. Therefore, he does not see that he has made them, and that they are not whole. For these figures have no witnesses, being perceived in one separate mind only. It is through these strange and shadowy figures that the insane relate to their insane world. For they see only those who remind them of these images, and it is to them that they relate. Thus do they communicate with those who are not there, and it is they who answer. And no one hears their answer save him who called upon them, and he alone believes they answered him. Projection makes perception, and you cannot see beyond it. From Ernest Holmes in his book, Science of Mind, never limit your view of life by any past experience. The possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to produce this imagery or divine imagination. It is not a question of failing or succeeding. It is simply a question of sticking to an idea until it becomes a tangible reality. The illusion is the way we look at things. We have looked at poverty, degradation, and misery until they have assumed gigantic proportions. Now we must look at harmony, happiness, plenty, prosperity, peace, and right action until they appear. And from the Sufi mystic poem Rumi, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. Let's stand and sing. This is our new VIA song, and you'll probably remember this from Woodstock. It's called Woodstock, so it's a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song reminding us that we are billion-year-old carbon. Yes, we are stardust. All right. Take it away, Mr. Bruce. Y'all know this song. We're not singing all of it. You'll get enough of it. Well, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me, where are you going? This is what he said to me. Said, I'm going down to Yazga's farm, gonna join in a rock and roll band. Got to get back to the land and set my soul free. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion years of carbon, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. Loving, can I walk beside you? I have come to lose the small, and I feel myself become something turning. And maybe it's the time of the year. Yes, maybe it's the time of man. And I don't know who I am, but life is for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion years of carbon, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion years of carbon, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. And we got to get ourselves back to the garden. Oh yeah. Thank you, y'all. Well, we'll have that one down by the fall. You're going to hear that song every week. Make sure the voice box is turned off. Okay. All right.
I think we did the B-52s better than
I'm shocked how well we did the B-52s. The band may be excused. All right. Everybody got their kaleidoscopes, right?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to need them here in a minute. As soon as I lose band members here. Losing band members. There they go.
I just got stabbed by a microphone.
Uh-oh. Good thing they're not sharp.
That could be good.
It's better than being stabbed by a mic. You know, some guy named Mike. All right. Everybody breathe deeply. All right. You've all been given a kaleidoscope this morning, and I want you to take some time right now to look through your kaleidoscope. Jim, if you're on the YouTube, Jim's going to show you your own personal kaleidoscope. So I invite everybody to turn the end will turn, and you can look, you put it up to the light, you can see all the different shapes. Okay, everybody got a good look at their kaleidoscope? Okay, I want you to put your hand over the end of it. Not so pretty now, isn't it? Not so much fun. All that darkness. Yeah. Now move your hand back. Okay, now you got some light. Look at that. All right, I'd like you to lay your kaleidoscopes down, turn your attention to the room. Congratulations, you've just awakened. Look at y'all. You're all awake now. Within the world of the kaleidoscope, you have limited yourself to seeing what is right in front of you. The kaleidoscope is the narrow view of the world that we all have, because that is the narrow view of the ego. We're in fields of gold, and we're walking around in a field of barley thinking that this is it. This is what, oh, look at my world. Look, oh, crap. Oh, now my world is dark. Oh, now I'm depressed. Oh, my God. Oh, the light's back. Yay. Oh, I'm happy. Now I'm not. Oh, I'm happy. No. It's your ego right here. And this is the narrow field that 99.9% of our time we spend looking through. Right? But if we're willing to draw our attention away from the kaleidoscope, here's your ego. Here you are. If you go, oh, there's a big old world out here. And all I was doing was, oh, that's a pretty world. But this one, look at this one. Oh, my goodness. This narrow view of existence, it's not the truth. It's just your perception. And it's an illusion. We create this egoic kaleidoscope world through projection. Our reading from A Course in Miracles says projection makes perception, and you can't see beyond it. Because you're looking here, you're not looking here. But what are we projecting in the world? Most often, we're projecting our fear and our guilt, which means we're constantly attacking the world and defending ourselves from what we perceive as attacks on us. But the good news is we have two emotions, fear or love, so we can choose which one we're projecting. But we're afraid of love because we have been taught that love is weak. We believe that if we just love everybody, oh, I'm just going to love everybody, and then you become a doormat. Everybody takes advantage of you because I'm just loving everybody. And that's the kind of love the ego wants you to think you're accepting when you step onto a spiritual path. But that's just the ego's way of keeping you staring into the kaleidoscope of sometimes I'm happy, woo, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm happy. Happy, sad, happy. That's what we do. Love, the only thing that's real, is stronger than any hatred. It's stronger than any anger. It's stronger than any fear. It is not the opposite of fear. Love has no opposite. It's the only reality that is. It makes up the field where we truly exist while we're dreaming about these images within our kaleidoscope. Now, this may all sound like New Age spiritual mumbo-jumbo, but science is catching up with the mystics. Rumi knew about this field when he said, out beyond this right doing and wrong doing is a field. And he didn't know a darn thing about quantum physics. But he'd been there. He saw it. He knew about it. He wrote poems about it. He and other ancient mystics before him realized this world is an illusion. It is made up of nothing but energy, an omnipotent energy that constantly shifts and changes form. And then it shifts again and brings up form and it disappears. And it does this all the time. The field is made up of an unconscious force, what Meher Baba calls beyond God. The quantum physicists have finally discovered this field. They know where it is. It exists. They've seen it. This is a field where atoms and quarks and protons and neutrons, they all pop into existence and then they disappear again. And sometimes they organize themselves and they become music stands and microphone stands and chairs and people. They just come up, organize, live a little while, go back to nothing. It's an omnipresent field of energy. It is always around us, but we're too busy looking here. Oh, that's my life. There it is right there. This is the illusion, jubilants. We make up our private worlds, according to A Course, and we people them with shadowy figures from our past, and then we use these insane experiences from our past to relate to an insane world, and we create insanity. A future of insanity. For they see only those who remind them of these images, A Course says, and it is to them that they relate. They do not communicate, or thus do they communicate with those who are not there, and it is they who answer. And no one hears their answer, save him who called upon them, and he alone believes they answered him. These are the stories you tell yourself in your head. These are the conversations you hold after you walk away from somebody, right? I wish I'd said this. Man, I could have said that. Woo, what if I'd done? This is, hello, you're in your kaleidoscope. You're making up your world. It's right there. Projection makes perception, and you cannot see beyond it. So let's test this out a little bit. Swap kaleidoscopes, please. If you have two, look at another one. Those might be the same over there. But if it's got a different thing, swap your kaleidoscope and look. Is it, you got something different? So they're a different, oh, look. Now you're in a different kaleidoscope. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Right now you're seeing a different world. We have two emotions, right? Fear and love. We made one of them, fear. The other one, love, was given by the Holy. Each is a way of seeing, A Course says, and different worlds arise from their different visions. So when we swap kaleidoscopes, you know, sometimes we say, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And so you try to see the world as they see it. It's still insane, right? Even when you step in somebody else's shoes, you're like, wow, this is their world, okay? This is crazy. But we get tired of kaleidoscopes. We like to swap. I want to see a different view. But you know what? We're still asleep. We're still asleep in the field of unity. It's called swapping one illusion for the other. But I'll give you an example. I've said that before, that my father's departure from our family when I was 9, that was a pivotal moment in life. And from that episode, my young self developed this coping mechanism of anger and cynicism. I had an ugly kaleidoscope. I mean, it was like, rah, rah, lots of reds, lots of So I allowed that 9-year-old to run my life until I was in my 30s. Saw everything through this lens of anger. I saw an angry world. It was a kaleidoscope of fear, but it was the only one I knew about. I didn't know there were other kaleidoscopes. And I felt like if I gave up this kaleidoscope, I might not get another one. Or it could be worse. I don't know. I'm going to have to sacrifice something if I switch, because I built myself around this kaleidoscope. I built my whole life around this one. So what happens if I change kaleidoscopes? But we all do it. We all build ourselves around the shadowy figures of our private little Idaho. We build identities on our traumas, but also we build identities on the good things we perceive as happening to us in this tiny little world. We don't understand that there's a field of unity where we truly exist, much less that there may be better kaleidoscopes or illusions that we can tune into. We believe we're stuck with what we have. Now, after I went through some therapy and did a ritual of forgiveness for my then dead father, I realized there's another way to look at the world. This new perspective, this new perception, was a world that was friendlier. It was happier. It was more joyous. It brought less suffering for myself and those around me because I became more loving, less angry. I happily embraced this world. Woo! New kaleidoscope! It's great. But there was still suffering. There were still bouts of anger and depression and loneliness, even in this new, happier kaleidoscope. Oh, there was still some darkness now and then. And this is how you know you're swapping one illusion for another. There's still some ego lurking. But this is not a time for despair when you realize that, because if we swap an unhappy illusion for a happier one, it means we're making progress on the spiritual path. If you want to judge your progress, are you in a happier place? Have you left behind what makes you unhappy? And we may never reach that place of true egoless enlightenment. We may never really be able to step back, put the kaleidoscope down, and fully see that field of gold that we really live in. But swapping one for this, our perception, has widened simply because we now know the field is real and the kaleidoscope is not. It's that emotion of fear that keeps us from denying the reality of a different, happier kaleidoscope, let alone embracing the reality of that ultimate field of unity. Fear tells us if we swap kaleidoscopes, if we seek a world of peace over anger, we'll be weakening ourselves. People will take advantage of us. My ego had convinced me, my anger and cynicism, this is the thing that keeps you safe. Dropping that in favor of love and joy and peace, it told me, it's going to make you weak. And I believed that for a long time. I caught glimpses of this new kaleidoscope. I found my way to a more loving and peaceful and joyful worldview. And oddly enough, this new kaleidoscope, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. It creates entire worlds. A happy dream, as a Course says. Ernest Holmes, in his book Science of Mind, says this is part of our path to expand our perception, swap kaleidoscopes, so we can create what a Course calls a happy dream. We have to stop limiting ourselves because of past experiences, those shadowy, unreal figures that populate our egoic kaleidoscopes. Instead, we're called to step into our divine imagination and look at the world through that lens. He writes, we've looked at poverty, degradation, and misery until they have assumed gigantic proportions. Now we must look at harmony, happiness, plenty, prosperity, peace, and right action until they appear. This is not a Pollyanna-ish hope. This is the exact spiritual path that will lead to awakening. Because if projection does indeed make perception, projecting love instead of fear will change the way we see this world and others. This is the power of our spiritual path, Jubilants. The moment I stopped projecting anger and cynicism onto the world, I stopped experiencing angry and cynical people. My world out here changed. The people in front of me became people who were peaceful, loving, joyful, happy people. I began to see those around me not as obstacles or people who were wrong, stupid, and annoying, in need of my correction, but as God in the flesh, offering me a chance to be blessed by them if I was willing to widen my perception enough to see their inherent innocence and inestimable worth, no matter what their behavior might be in this moment. So how do you begin this spiritual growth process? Well, you begin by allowing. Give yourself permission to see a different world, to expand your perception from your self-limiting kaleidoscope of the ego that keeps you seeking and not finding. And then you can become willing to swap one illusion for another, just to convince yourself it can be done. The only thing that you'll be sacrificing, though, is this old illusion. These shadowy figures that you held in your limited imagination. All I sacrificed were the angry and cynical people in my world. Not much of a sacrifice, right? Then we step into awareness. We begin to question our old beliefs and limitations that we have used to cope with the world. And in this state, we become aware of new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing the world. We may find teachers at this state who help us. I found my gateway guru, Wayne Dyer, and then that led on to like Eckhart Tolle and Marianne Williamson, Course in Miracles. They helped me expand my perception from poverty, degradation, and misery to harmony, happiness, plenty, prosperity, peace, and right action. And guess what? When I chose to perceive love instead of fear, lovely and loving things and people appeared in my world. Look, you're all here. Isn't that great? What a beautiful world I have created. Yeah, thank you. I'm still insane. But welcome to my insanity. We've said before, either this shit works or it doesn't, right? And the reason it works, Jubilants, is not because of some Pollyanna-ish wishful thinking. It works because it's science. It's science. The quantum field of unity out beyond wrongdoing and right doing, it exists. The quantum physicists say so. It is the beyond God, the field of omnipresent divine consciousness from which things form out of nothingness. They exist in our perception for a while, and then they return to the nothingness that created them. And Jubilants, that is good news. Because that means if you're willing to put down the kaleidoscopes that show you a world of suffering and despair and peer through a new one that shows peace and joy and love, eventually you will put down all of your kaleidoscopes and you will awaken into the field of divine imagination that you have never left. That's good news. Happy birthday to everybody. And you may say, that is lovely, preacher, but how do I use that when I walk out of the room and something comes up and challenges me? Okay, here's the way you do it. Stop judging. Quit it. Just stop judging everything that happens to you. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. Love what is. And then get curious. Step 1, don't judge. Step 2, get curious. Everything going on in your kaleidoscope, in your dream world, is there for a reason. It's always trying to teach you something, a deepening of spirit to move you into the happy dream where God can gently bring you into awakening. So when the challenges arise, here are your tools for today. When your challenges arise, the question you ask, somebody's irritating you. Something comes up and all like that. Question number 1, why is this in my dream? Why? Why is it here? How is it trying to benefit me and widen my perception so I can create the happy dream that leads to awakening? Get curious. Why is this in my dream? As you ask, I promise your kaleidoscope, it will shift, and you may catch a glimpse of the field of unity out beyond right doing and wrongdoing. This is how God moves us through each illusion as we choose, by bringing more light into our heart until all we see is that field. Put down the kaleidoscopes and we awaken. This is meant to be a gentle process, Jubilants. When a child is having a nightmare, it's not good to just shake them awake, right? They will awake in terror. Ah! But if you gently hold a child, if you stroke their hair, you whisper to them to wake up, and then they awaken calmly in loving arms. And this is exactly how the Holy works with us, moving us from illusion to illusion, from dark illusions to those with more light, until we gently awaken in that field of unity, of energy out beyond wrongdoing and right doing. While we're looking through our kaleidoscopes, though, we're invited to realize everybody else is walking around with one too. Let's see how that works. Stand up. Everybody stand up. Take your kaleidoscope. Take your kaleidoscope. Put a kaleidoscope up to your eye. Walk around. Don't take it down. Walk around. Walk around. Up. Right there. That's how wars start. Right there. Renee just bumped into John. She hit me first. This is war. Because we're all in our kaleidoscopes. But if we take our kaleidoscopes down, look at our field of unity. We're all here. We're all here. We can see one another. We can love one another. Nobody's bumping into each other. She hit me first. I have every right to go to war. You see how it works. We're all walking around. This is where we get to choose to see differently, to be the one with the expanded perception. So when we bump into somebody with a totally different kaleidoscope, we can look past, she hit me first, and see the innocence, the pure love, the unity between us. And this is our invitation, jubilants from the holy, to perceive the world outside of our own private Idaho and be willing to get out of that state in the name of love. We're called not just to awaken ourselves, but to be instruments of light and love and peace so the whole world gets a chance to look up from their own little kaleidoscopes that are just showing them the fields of barley, just long enough for them to see the field of unity, that field of gold where we all truly exist. Because once you see it, once you believe it and you see it, oh, you want to see it again and again. I think I've told this story before. Lee and I were out having dinner one night. I saw the field, y'all. That quick, but I saw it. I swear, something shifted. We were at Publico having dinner, and I looked up. I stepped out of the world of fractal for a split. It was weird. I saw, in Hunger Games, when Katniss shoots the dome, and she sees the dome. She sees that they're in this made-up world. I saw the dome, y'all. I looked up, and I swear, my vision shifted, and I saw, this is an illusion. I want to see it again. I've been in the field, y'all. It exists, and it's cool. And we can all go there because we're already there. And it begins with what you are projecting in this world. What are you projecting? What are you projecting that prevents you from seeing the fields of gold that we are all walking in right now? When anger was my main emotion, and anger is a form of fear after all I projected in the world was anger, and it was mirrored back to me. Met lots of angry people. People trying to run me off the road, road rage incidents. Woohoo, that was fun. Now, though, as I seek to project only love, and I do it imperfectly, so I know it's still an illusion, but if I seek only to project love, then I am on the receiving end of a whole lot of love. Not just from friends and families, but strangers. Strangers treat me great when I go in, and I go into a store, and I'm just like, I'm here. It's like Keith says, everybody loves me. But they do. It's amazing. You walk in with love, people respond with love. It's amazing. I invite you to consider, which kaleidoscope are you looking through today? Is it one of anger or guilt or fear or despair, anxiety, suffering? If so, I invite you, swap your kaleidoscope. Look through one where you can focus on love, peace, joy, compassion. You may be swapping one illusion for another, one private Idaho just for another one. But this is how we raise ourselves to that higher perception, so we can create the happy dream that leads us to fully awaken in that field of golden unity and peace. And when we do finally awaken to the unity, the vast, vast unity that lives in, through, and as us. And we look around and see that everybody's there. You're all here. We're all one. And when we can see that, the only thing we'll know to say is, oh yeah. Breathe deeply. What's your private Idaho like this morning? No, you can keep them. Everybody keeps the, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah, I think I got one up here. What's your private Idaho like? Where's Coeur d'Alene this morning? What shadowy figures inhabit your world? We'll talk about them. You're the only one hearing them. You're really the only one witnessing them. Someone can be standing right in front of you and say something to you, and you will hear something completely different, right? What do they mean by that? Oh, now you're in your private Idaho. Get out of that state. Get out of that state you're in. Awaken to the fields of gold. Breathe deeply. Here in Kaleidoscope Land, there's something insane in Kaleidoscope Land, and we call it money. Right? Kaleidoscope Land? From Hasbro. But here in Kaleidoscope Land, we need money to exist. It is an insane little system, isn't it? Papers and coins, and whoever gets the most power. It's insane. What an insane little kaleidoscope we're all peering through, right? But while we're here, we got to play the game, right? And the game includes the money. So we are grateful for those who have kept us going through COVID, and now in post-COVID. It's interesting. I do want to acknowledge those who have given to us through COVID, because the 2 years and into that third year of COVID, for the past 3 years, we have broken even, which is great because people have supported us and we're still here. And like last year, I guess, we kind of pivoted because we have this beautiful space, and so we opened the living room. And so in the living room, we host performances by bands, and the opera will be here in August. You know, we've hosted these events here using our space, and that rent has paid off. It has helped us. We also have a church that rents from us on Saturdays. So they basically take this building on Saturdays. And between that, we are making the ends meet. But it's been said that 20% of the congregation, or 20% of any group, does 80% of the work. And it's true. I will tell you it's true. So I do want to recognize folks who have been extremely helpful, especially in the living room, helping us keep that going. Camille has helped very much. Lee, Danny has helped us immensely in some ways in the living room. Jim has been there to do some live streams for us. Renee was very instrumental in making the auction happen when Danielle Howell was here. Charles is here all the time. Beth here all the time. Who else? Julie. Julie brings food. Julie is always like, what food do we need? She's always on top of it. I am so, so, so grateful for everyone who has helped. Because without the living room, without our renters, we wouldn't be here. We would have closed down already. We'd have closed down a year ago because we can't make it just on donations. It's the reality of the thing. There's no judgment. There's no whining. It's the reality of the thing. I'm loving what is right now. And this is the situation. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone who helps in the living room. I'm grateful for our renters on Saturday, even though they give me a headache now and then. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to every one of you who are in the seats today, who are coming, who still make it a point to be here on Sunday morning. I am grateful. And I'm grateful for everyone who watches on the YouTube. And I'm also grateful for anyone and everyone who gives us some part of their abundance so that this place can continue, that we can continue to provide a space for another congregation to meet. We can provide a space for entertainers to come, and we can provide a space for Sunday morning and the other events that we do at Jubilee. I am immensely grateful for all of you. All of you. I'm even grateful for those who have decided they don't want to come anymore because they've been here. And I'm telling you, I told Jim this morning, once you are a jubilant, you a jubilant. I don't care where you are. Whether you come back here or not, you a jubilant. Yeah, you are. And the faster you embrace that, the happier we will all be, right? So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Pass that around, Virginia, if you would, so everybody gets a shot at the basket. And if you are out there in TV land, or if you're in here without any cash, there is on your lyric sheet QR code, and you can give online. Out there on TV land, you can give online as well. You can go to jubileecircle.com. There's a donate button there. You can give through PayPal and Venmo and Square, and you can write a check and send it to Post Office Box 4611, Columbia 29240. All right. Thank you all. All right. So a few announcements as that goes around. Just to let you know, next week we'll continue our VIA Positiva of Loving What Is, and Deb Varn, our Agape licensed spiritual practitioner, will be here to deliver the message. We've got the cabarets coming up in July 11th and July 13th. That's a Tuesday and Thursday. Kathy Hartzog and Lisa Ackley will be performing standards and show tunes. We have dessert and non-alcoholic beverages around. BYOB, tickets are $20 online or at the door. If you haven't seen the cabarets, Mara, you and John can testify. Yeah, it's so fun. You will enjoy yourself. Yeah. So BYOB. So that way you know you're drinking what you want to drink. In August, the Columbia Light Opera Society is going to be doing 2 operettas. One of them will be Gilbert and Sullivan's Trial by Jury, and that's going to have like a 3-day run. So they'll be here Friday night, they'll be here Saturday night at 8 o'clock on those 2 nights, and then a Sunday matinee at 3. $10 at the door. Soundy School at 10:30 on every Sunday, and Course in Miracles discussion group 7:30 on Wednesday nights right here. Any other announcements? Anything I'm missing? Oh, Michael, what do you want to talk about your July 9th thing? All right.
July 9th in this space, and I believe we're going to be live streaming it as well. We're going to, my quintet is having a concert. I call it swing music for spiritual people. There'll be all kinds of music. There'll be some sing-alongs. I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to last about an hour, and it's free.
All right.
Yeah.
My price. So swingers welcome. Oh, wait, that's a different thing. Oh, Jenny? What time?
4 o'clock
It'll be
on
4
Sunday, July 9th.
Sunday, July 9th at 4 o'clock, right here. Okay, be here or be square. All right, so we're going to tell the folks on the YouTube, good day. Good day, sir. So good day to everybody. Remember, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it will be enough because it puts you right in gratitude and it helps you love what is. So we all say together, thank you, and we say, oh yeah. We'll see you next week.